Hello, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're all doing well. I am back to talk about, you guessed it, Hecate. And I'm going to talk about how she has basically always been around me, whether or not I've realised it. And not only that, how you can figure that out for yourself, as well as figuring out if any deity, for that matter, has been around you. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name's Sarah. I go by that divination witch online. I started on TikTok posting readings and I've branched out here. I just share my spiritual journey, information I've learned, and I just try and do it in a down-to-earth, grounded, practical way. If you like that, please subscribe. And I've also got a link tree below if you're interested in getting a reading from me. I have an Etsy store on there. I've also got a Patreon service where you can get readings from me there, as well as hints and tips about deity work and paganism. So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you could check that out, thank you. So what I mean by this, well, to explain, Hecate has been with me my whole life and I didn't really realise that. And this happens a lot. For a lot of us, it doesn't necessarily happen with just Hecate, but it could be any deity for that matter. In my personal experience, Hecate manifested in my interests growing up. One of my ultimate favourite characters ever, and I have her tattooed on me and everything, is Maleficent from the Disney movies. And I have loved this character since I was a kid. I have loved that character since the cartoon, and then I was totally like, I'm still a Disney adult, but I was just obsessed with Maleficent, the Disney villains, Sleeping Beauty. I just love that movie. And yeah, I loved Once Upon a Time. I used to go to Comic-Cons. I used to go to the Once Upon a Time conventions. I've been where it was filmed in Canada. All this stuff. I was mega obsessed. Like, if back then, if you asked me, like in my early 20s even, you know, if I could be a character, who would I be? And it was Maleficent, you know. I just loved her so much. She just spoke to me on a level that no other character kind of has. Yeah, there's some other interests I have and other characters from fandoms and things like that over the years that I've been interested in, like Pam from True Blood. She gives me more of a Lilithy type vibe, like very sassy lady. But yeah, man, I just loved Maleficent. After realising that Hecate herself was around me, and through time, Hecate has confirmed that the reason I loved Maleficent so much is because the comfort I found, the interest I found in that character, especially in my 20s, it was her. It was her talking to me through fiction, through a fictional character. And I feel like this is the case for a lot of people. It could be more literal, especially in the cases of, say, Loki and Thor, because of the Marvel movies and things like that. It could be more literal. There is technically Hecate in modern media, but not as prevalent as, say, Loki, you know. Your interests as a child, a teenager, a young adult, they reflect what energy you have around you. They really do. It's like tapping into the archetype of something or someone. I suppose that's what pop culture deities are, which I've spoke about on this channel as well. That is what they are, you know, tapping into an archetype, into an energy. Now, how could this manifest for you? Now, for me, being a nerd, I suppose, a geek who likes fandoms and things like that, it manifested for me in the fact that I loved that character Maleficent, and I still love that character Maleficent. And Mother was like, yep, that's me. She's the horned goddess in it, you know. She is the dark feminine, the dark mother. Depending on the iteration of Maleficent, she has the kind motherly side and also the dark side that curses people. I mean, come on, that That's not a Hecate archetype, I don't know what is. But this could manifest in other ways. So for example, off the top of my head, if you love football, right, and it could be American football, sure, but I was talking more about soccer. But if you say love football, Apollo could be around you. Or if you love, I don't know, like I'd like Hermes. I feel like that gives a Hermes vibe. Like any sort of sport could be Hermes, Artemis, Ares. I'm just thinking of Hellenic gods, but it's not limited to that. Of course not, you know. If you think about, you know, things you've been interested in, say if you were like interested in, I don't know, cars. There you go, another thing that Hermes may like, it being a god of transportation that he is. If you're interested in nature more, well, you may have more nature spirits around you. It could be Gaia herself, or Kernanos, the horned god, or the wild god, you know. That is how deities manifest around us. These archetypes, they kind of blend in with different aspects of our personality, and because, you know, we are multifaceted beings, you know, we have lots of different interests. So yeah, sure, I love Maleficent. I like other things as well. I love to read and I love to learn, and funny enough, Minerva is one of my goddesses. Although we don't work as close as we used to right now, she is still one of my goddesses, a goddess of knowledge. You know, you may like music. Again, Apollo loves music, or one of the muses, or Bragi from Norse mythology. So I just wanted to explain to you all, especially newbies, that maybe the signs were always there and you just didn't pick up on it because maybe you weren't spiritual or didn't understand or believe, you know. They're always with us, whether we realize it or not. Our deities are always with us. I can think of Maleficent and Mother, you know, like the Lilith vibes from the lady from True Blood. And I've always loved vampire things as well. Very Lilith. I think of my obsession with, like a lot of people, I suppose, Japanese culture and anime and things from a young age. Izanami is a goddess of mine. My kind, compassionate side makes me think of Lady Frigg from Norse, who is another deity of mine. You know, so have a think about it is what I'm saying, and think about your inner child, especially. That's why I brought up Maleficent, because for me, she sparks joy in my inner child. You know, she brings out the inner child, and that just goes to show that Hecate really is my mother in that regard. Like, she's been looking after me and my inner child, you know. So who's your deity? Do you have anything like that? Anything that, you know, brings you comfort, or you've had this interest in for a long time? Literally, it could be something geeky, something like a sport, interested in nature, music, you know, learning languages even. Anything that you are so interested in or talented at, let me know. I'm interested if you have realized this or not, or if it's sparked a question within you. But I felt like she wanted me, meaning Hecate, to make this video to get other people to be like, potentially that's where I get that from, you know. Like attracts like. That's the way I see it. That's the law of attraction. It's how you manifest things. So on a spiritual and energetic level, like really does attract like. It really does. So let me know in the comments below. And until next time, of course, stay safe and stay witchy. Bye.